What is happening in it? J Gamer Dude here, and I figured I would do like a sort of another anime review for another show that I've just recently finished. This one specifically being the season one of Bungou Stray Dogs. So Bungou Stray Dogs has been on my watch list for quite some time, and it's always been one that a lot of people have talked about. I was going to say back in the day, but more so a few years ago. And honestly, I don't know why it's taken forever for me to get to it. Most likely because of One Piece, but that's kind of when I put it on my watch list anyways. Now, Bungo Stray Dogs, I think, is a great show. I think it's a great show. I think it's a lot of fun to watch. Essentially, we've got our main character, Nakajima Atsushi, and I forgot what he was trying to do at the river during the first episode, but he pretty much ends up running into Dazai after Dazai fails to kill himself again multiple times. I don't know where this is going with that one. It's a mixture of comedy, action, elements of supernatural in the way everyone's powers work. So if I were to put it in one way, the comedy is probably the heaviest part, whereby the characters, how they gel together, what their personalities are like, and things like that is where most of the comedy elements come in, and also some of the seriousness because those characters know each other in a very specific or certain way. That's the first thing. The second thing is there are a fair few fights, so the action scenes are actually pretty well done. I wouldn't say that they're exceptional, but then that's because the way in which fight scenes look now in 2023 compared to 2016 is very different. So back then, I imagine it would have looked absolutely incredible. But I still think that it looked great regardless. And then, so yeah, comedy, action, and then it's got elements of supernatural, the way in which everyone's powers work, because every character has powers, including our main character here. Who is being targeted by an underground group called Port Mafia, who are trying to claim him for his tiger-like ability, where he's able to regenerate really quickly. He's able to move around very fast. He's got powers that very much are wanted by the underground, and instead ends up running into Dazai, who is part of the investigations team, which are the lot that generally tend to fight against Port Mafia. And the initial few episodes are pretty slow to start off with, because it's getting you acclimated to the world and the characters and the supernatural sort of aspects around each of the characters and all that. So I do appreciate that at the very least we're getting a sort of a slow ramp up in getting to know everyone and everything, because I feel like we're going to be in for the long haul. And given that there's currently 3 seasons, of course I'm going to come back for come back and do a sort of a review on season 2 and then do a review on season 3. But with season 1 still relatively fresh in my mind, I think that I had a lot of fun. I very much enjoyed all of the characters. There weren't any particular characters that I found to be annoying or overbearing, because even though they may come off like that initially, when the main character talks to other characters in relation to the annoying character, it kind of then begins to add layers on how each character functions as a part of the world, or is part of the machination known as the world, how they are the individual cog that makes the whole thing turn. Yeah, so I think that the characters are great. It didn't feel like there was much of an overarching story, but then when those slight hints happened that, oh, we're moving forward with little things every now and again, you realize, oh, there is an overarching story. Oh, stuff happening from one episode is now carrying over into future episodes, as another person is joining us, and then their baggage that is coming along with us is going to largely affect what happens later on. So at least there is some semblance of progression going on, and isn't just sort of episode by episode basis. My favorite character for sure, I would have to argue, is Dazai, because he's got layers out the wazoo. He's an interesting fella in so many different ways. And his ability, No Longer Human, is also another fascinating part of him as well. I watched the whole thing subbed rather than dubbed because I don't want to ruin a great show for myself. And I mean, the fact that we immediately assume all dubs are going to be bad really doesn't, again, definitely just does not speak well to perception surrounding these sorts of things. In saying that, there isn't really much more for me to say about it. I just had a great time overall. I think that the opening was good. I wouldn't say that was great, and the ending theme, I feel like I pretty much skipped every single time because I didn't feel like I need to listen to it, so I don't have much to comment on as far as that goes. As a whole, I'm on Mel, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, which is a great score. I think that the show is great, and I think that I'm looking forward to seeing what season 2 and season 3 bring, but it's just going to be a matter of time to see how things happen. The beginning of season 2 is already very interesting in terms of like how they're tackling that and what it's I'm still trying to figure out its relationship to season 1. But yeah, with all that said and done, I'll see you guys next time.